One question is, why did Putin invade Ukraine?
All right. I'm going to make a connection in order to give you the information that we are allowed to give you. This connection is to what might euphemistically be referred to as the Interstellar Alliance Council. So I will be speaking on their behalf as well as on the behalf of myself. One moment. At this moment, the being known as Vladimir Putin is the most frightened and weakest person on your planet at this moment. Exhibiting the idea of weakness, exhibiting the ideas of fear, exhibiting the idea of loss of control and fear attached to that concept. Using force, using weapons, using coercion, using lies does not make one powerful. The use of such things is an indication that the person using them, or the people thereof, fear that they are weak and powerless. For they do not believe that their ideologies and their perspectives are powerful enough to draw and attract those to them without coercion, without force, without weapons, without lies. Therefore, they do not really believe in the power of their own ideology. They fear that they are weak. They fear that they are powerless. And they strike out and attack for the purpose of covering up and denying their belief in their own weakness and their own lack of self-empowerment. The idea on your planet is that from our civilizations, there are no soldiers, there are no police forces. This does not mean that you should abandon them or dismantle them. But in our reality, such beings take on more of the idea that you refer to as first responders, rescue operations, those that benefit the masses by coming in when and where they are needed to aid and assist and be of value in uplifting the civilization. Therefore, we lay out for you at this time, as an honorary member of the Interstellar Alliance, the notion and the practice and the actions necessary for these incidents to no longer occur. You have to have what you call your military and police forces, where each and every individual understands how life works and has an ethical and moral center on an individual basis, rather than following orders in a slavish way. They would respond to any such being as a dictator that is operating in a negative, coercive, lying, forceful way with a no. We will not follow you because it is outside the alignment of our moral and ethical centers in our connection to all that is. Such beings would be an aberration on your planet and would be immediately removed into a program of correction and therapy to allow them to learn to connect to their own self-empowerment, their own spiritual center and expression of all that is, rather than being left, as you would say, in charge. When you can, create programs that instill this universal ethical and moral center, a sense of connection to spirit, and expression and actions that are in alignment with who you truly are as powerful beings, and honoring and owning your own true power, it will no longer be necessary to have soldiers that follow orders slavishly. It will no longer be necessary to have a police force that must enforce the law, but simply act as those that guide, nurture, uplift, remind. In the same way that we have the organizational bodies in our alliance that amplify and magnify the concept of organization, the concept of awareness, the concept of stability, the concept of fluidity, the concept of adaptability, and the concepts of strengthening and magnifying everyone's individual self-empowerment in a way that functions harmoniously throughout the whole, you must think in terms of whole systems, rather than components that you struggle to piece together. In this way, when there are no longer those that simply slavishly follow orders, but each having their own ethical and moral center, will such actions as you are now experiencing on your planet no longer be possible. You must allow yourself, if you wish, to create programs, to teach, to educate, to help each individual find their self-empowerment and align to the idea of what you call the positive side of their ethical and moral experience in life, to connect back to their awareness of all that is, so that they will no longer support individuals who force, who coerce, who lie. The idea, therefore, is that this program must be started on your planet for you to truly achieve what can be achieved in your connection to our Interstellar Alliance as a full-fledged member. Through the window of open contact, it would be wise if you would accelerate these programs in such a way, create these programs and act on them in such a way that you can allow each to feel their own true self-empowerment and move forward as a collective whole, a collection of absolute individuals who are each empowered to be their unique selves with their unique connection to all that is, no longer slavishly following orders for those who fear that they are powerless, who fear others, who fear loss, who fear disconnection, who fear they are weak. For again, weapons do not make you powerful. They are a statement that you feel and believe you are powerless, too powerless to attract what you need in life without them. Let that be the anthem of your world. We thank you. Will that have answered your question?
Yes, thank you. There was a follow-up question also, which was, will the ETs prevent full-scale nuclear war, and how can they do that?
As we have said many times, there have been many demonstrations given over the military bases on your planet that harbor nuclear missiles, where our crafts have, by hovering over and extending their electromagnetic beams, shut down the launch codes, erased the launch codes, scrambled the launch codes to demonstrate that while it might still be possible for there to be a limited nuclear strike, a small one somewhere on your world, the idea of global thermonuclear war would rip through the fabric of dimensions to other realities, and this you are not allowed to do. So this will be prevented on a larger scale, even though smaller scales that will not have that effect interdimensionally can still be allowed, because you still have to make up your own minds about what you wish to experience on your world. But the larger expression of it, yes, is not allowed and will be prevented.
That's good to hear. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate everything that you've shared. Thank you so much, Bashar. From me